Okay. So thanks for coming. I think probably every other week I'm going to have, well, I don't want to make any like definite promises, but I'm going to try to every other week have just a mini call for my personally sponsored coaches. So it won't actually be on the calendar in Fitneek Nation. So I'll just kind of pop them in. I'll tell you that morning it's only going to be like, okay, let's do a power hour together, or I've learned something new and I want to bring it to you guys. But the regular scheduled like family big call are on Tuesday nights at 8:30 every other week. And for the next couple, I have guest speakers lined up, so other top coaches. So those will be very scheduled. They'll always be on the calendar. These will just kind of be like pop-up calls. So I don't want to like corner myself into Tuesday night because it might be Thursday, but I want to try and do one every single week. At the very least, a power hour. We can do a power hour together because I think that's really important. I also want to make sure like everybody's using that Success Club tracker. I posted it in both of the message threads today. Just do it. Like if you do that every day, you're gold. Like you will definitely hit your goals. Like you just have to, the name of the game in this business is consistency. It is like, it's just like, do it every single day. Don't stop. It's when you stop believing that it's going to work. And so then you stop. That's like stopping right before it probably was going to happen. It's like anything in life, you know, lots of times I will set a goal and I don't hit it that day that I said I was going to hit it, but I keep believing that it's going to happen. I keep visualizing it. I keep thinking about it. I keep writing it, and it happens because I believe it. Like I'm very clear on my goals. So whatever you want to hit, it doesn't matter if you don't hit it on the day. But if you stay consistent with this, I promise you the consistency, like that snowball that just keeps gathering snow and then it just like starts rolling faster and faster and faster. That's the thing that's going to keep the business growing and going in the right direction. Okay. So I want to talk a lot about Instagram tonight. Just from the people. So I joined this big business mastermind a couple weeks ago. You guys saw that I went to Kentucky like last minute. And so I've joined with about 10, maybe not, I don't even know, 8 other women who there's a couple of them in network marketing. A lot of them are just in like the business coaching space online. So it's really cool to just be able to get different tips and different ideas from them. And I am definitely learning so much from them. And one thing I'm like stoked about is finally kind of understanding fucking hashtags. Like I have never understood hashtags. I've just been like randomly throwing them up there and like crossing my fingers and hoping that something sticks. So I have a couple new little tips. They may not be new. Like I know Justine, you're pretty good with hashtags and stuff. As she looks at me shocked. I think you are anyways. So they might not be new to some of you, but I know my newer coaches, it probably is a great way to start using hashtags, just using them right. So first of all, the biggest thing with Instagram is you cannot just post and run. You cannot. In fact, Instagram knows when you do that. It's what's called the algorithm, and they know exactly when people are doing that. So posting and running they will actually just hide your post immediately. So, you know, when you go to your post and it's like, oh my gosh, like why did only 20 people like it? Well, those are your really awesome followers because they've actually gone to your page and almost found it. Because if you're just posting and running, Instagram's taken it off. Like they are just like, it's dead to them. You have got to be engaging for at minimum 5 minutes after, like 4 or 5 minutes after you post something at minimum. So, and the more time you can do, posting and running, Lisa, means like you post it and then you're off Instagram. You like post it and then you don't do anything else. So ideally you want to post your post and then go interact with people, go be social media. It's like a social dance that our parents used to go to like years and years ago. It's like meant to be social. So if you can't engage, don't post it then. Stop worrying about having it up at a certain time of day, because that really doesn't matter. It's more, I mean, that does matter. Like if you're looking at your insights and 200 more people are looking at your posts at 6 o'clock at night as opposed to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, well, 6 o'clock is the best time to post it. But it's not going to matter if you can't stick around for a little bit and do some engagement. So that means commenting on your followers' pictures, going to the feed and liking things, commenting. I am so guilty of it, Megan. I have just started now, like sticking around, and it drives me crazy. I hate it. I actually because usually I'm still in this old mindset of having to post at a certain time, and it's so silly. It would be way better for me at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to post and stick around for 20 minutes. That would probably produce way more stuff. So guilty. I'm so guilty.
I actually posted just this afternoon. I usually never post in the middle of the afternoon, but it was right before the kids were getting off the bus, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll post this and put it up, and literally deked then for quite a long time. That was the probably worst post and run. I literally turned my phone data off and went to the bus and then did all the kids stuff, and then I came on and no shit, my post had, and I wonder if it was slow to catch up, but it literally had 6 likes. It had 6 likes, and I was like, wow, that's real bad. Now I don't know what it's at now, but that's so funny that you're saying that, because I never ever, posting is the last thing I do. I'm like, okay, done. Off I go.
I know. Totally guilty, 100% guilty. So one of the girls in my mastermind is an Instagram expert. That's the only thing she coaches on. So she's been giving us so many tips, and that is her top tip. She's I call myself this Instagram expert, and it all it is just be social, people. Come on, you can't. So anyways, that is the biggest thing. The next thing is, don't worry about the likes. Don't get so caught up in the likes and how many followers you have, because it does not matter. In fact, one of the women in my mastermind has maybe 3,000 followers, and she is making 8 figures. On those 3,000 followers, it doesn't matter. If you are posting with purpose, if you are posting to your ideal client, if you are producing value. So if you guys are in my other group, we did that mini challenge, and I had a lot of people do really amazing posts, vulnerable posts or an educational post, and they really talked to their ideal client. They solved problems. One was Stacy Megan, who did a really great educational post about, I think, moms finding time for fitness. And it was amazing. And she was upset the next day because it actually had less likes than most of her things. But the thing about it is, it was totally talking to her audience. So what do you want? Do you want 75 likes because you posted a meme or a quote? Or do you want 19 or 20 likes from people that probably read that and actually maybe got value from it? And the more you do that, the more value you give, the more talking you do to your ideal client, the more of them are going to come. But hashtagging is still, the use of hashtags is still the number one way to get followers and stuff on Instagram. And I actually wouldn't have believed that until Kayla told me. So hashtags, we've got to get creative. You have got to get creative. She just actually sent me a note, And she's like, here's something that you can tell everybody in your fitness that are using fitness. So for example, let's say you're an online fitness coach from the Chicago area who teaches people to eat low carb to lose weight fast. So that's that person's niche. They live in Chicago and they're a fitness coach. And what they do is they help their people eat low carb to lose weight. So let's say for us, it's me. Let's say for me, for example, I live in Ontario, Canada. I'm a health and wellness coach, and my niche is emotional eating. Okay, so I'm going to go back to her example because she's giving examples of hashtags. Here are some examples they could use. Chicago fat loss, Chicago fitness trainer, West Loop Fitness, low carb trainer. So it's like like she said, it's all about getting really creative with your hashtags. They cannot be fit mom, mom of four. She's like, Michelle, adoptive mom. Like you can't use that. You have to get even more creative. And she said, truthfully, every post should have some very creative hashtags, like 5 or 6. And then to get to the 28, you can have a bulk list that you're using. But she said the first like 5 or 6 should be very like specific to that post. She said, honestly, you should be spending almost as much time thinking about some creative hashtags as you are about the post, especially if you're not good at it. She said, some people are just very natural. Like I am not good at it, at hashtags. I can't think of any. Like I get there and I'm like, MLM, like I just fit mom, like I don't know. Yeah, they say that you can have 30, but I guess 28 is the magic number. And she's always very quick to tell me like the rules will change. Maybe tomorrow it'll be different. Like you just never know. Obviously do not use the company name or Shakeology. Like we're all pretty good at that. Like don't be hashtagging Beachbody. Yeah, Tracy, you need way more than 3 or 4. Just like, I think if you have like a notepad full of hashtags. So say you have like 4 or 5 blockings of different hashtags and there's like 20 in the block. So you have 5 blocks of different, and say your 5 things that you always talk about. So for me, let's see, what do I talk about on my page? Emotional eating, family, like work from home. So I'll have like categories you can have saved. You can have categories of what you can always use and rotate those to be relevant to the post. But the first few you want to shake up. Am I making sense there? She said it's really good to use your province, your city to do that in hashtags. She said you would be so surprised how many people actually search hashtags, which I guess it's so like mind-blowing to me because I would never search a hashtag in my entire life. And it's probably my age. Like, it's just like not what I do, like ever. But apparently that's what people do. So when you get creative, she's like, so I said to her, I'm like, okay, so I need to like hashtag emotional eating. And she's like, Michelle, do you really think your ideal client is searching emotional eating? They don't even know what that is. And she's so right. I didn't really know the term emotional eating until I was a health and fitness coach. I would have been searching for lose weight fast or healthy recipes, clean eating. Like if I go back and you kind of have to like think like your customer, what would your ideal client actually be searching? And lots of the terms that we use, they are not going to be using. So it's all about getting really creative. What else did she just send me? Yeah, she said you really cannot be using the same hashtags in every post. That will be another reason why Instagram will just take your post away. And when I say they'll take your post away, they don't actually take it away, but they take it out of the search engine. So they like say, never mind, no one's engaging on that. They're not putting any effort into this platform, and they just don't show it to anyone. It's called the algorithm. So it's not like your post goes anywhere, but it doesn't stay in the search. And the reason you want to use like really creative hashtags is because you're high on the list. Like if you use Fit Mom, someone is using Fit Mom every millisecond. Probably 100 women are using Fit Mom every millisecond. So you are never going to be found. By the time a person searches Fit Mom, your post is gone. And that's how Instagram works. So you want to get into those hashtags that are between 10,000 and 200,000. So when you start typing in a hashtag, they start popping up and you can actually see the number. You want to go to those lower numbers. Yeah, like basically there's just not as much competition when you stay in those lower numbers. Does that make sense? I know some of my newer coaches are here, so I want to make sure that should we post hashtags in stories? Okay, so that is a good question. Hashtags in stories, one only, use the hashtag sticker, and there is no evidence that it works. Like that location, the @ whatever, or the hashtag, there's absolutely no evidence that it is seen. Nobody knows. But the rule of thumb right now is just use one. And in stories all the time, use as many stickers as you can. Don't make it look ugly though. My creative brain hates to say use a lot of stickers, but like the more stuff of Instagrams that you're using, the more they're going to love you. So the more platforms. So like today, if you looked at me, because I'm going to give you some tips that Shailene Johnson gave. I gave everybody that video, but I know maybe you didn't have time to watch it. But she said, like, when Instagram or Facebook comes out with something, they want you to use it, and they reward the people that are using it. So today I did a live video on my stories. So I did the live feature, I saved it, and then I did it as an IGTV on my profile. So I am not about working, like I'm not going to be like all over the place doing a zillion things, but you can reuse so much content. So you're using as much of their stuff as you can. So even like once a week, go do a live video on your, like making a salad, or I don't know, like today, I don't even know what I talked about today. Oh, my little rant on choices versus mistakes. And I didn't plan it. I literally just clicked live and I just started talking, and I made sure that I didn't go over 10 minutes. And before you click end, and then I just click save. So it saved to my camera roll, and then I could use it as an IGTV on my feed. So if you go to my feed right now, you'll see the first thing is that IGTV. And apparently from Shailene Johnson, that is the best thing to be doing on Instagram right now, is IGTVs. And I know like there's a couple of you that do IGTVs all the time, which is amazing. So good on you, because I hadn't done one in a long time. Okay, what else? Okay, searching using hashtags. This is actually something I've been using all week, and it's been really fun. So I've never done this before. Once you find some hashtags and think of some hashtags that really work for you. So Megan, I'm like looking at you. What, like something to do with nursing, but creative, right? Like not just like nurse mom, or I don't know, like, do you have any nursing stuff that you use already?
Yeah, nurse mom. Nurse life.
Maybe not nurse life.
Life of a nurse.
Well, how do they show up in like the numbers?
Oh, like, fuck, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have like no idea what I'm doing with hashtags.
Okay. Well,
I actually, what? Okay, go into bed, grab a book. I did one day actually at work when it was super slow. I used a hashtag and searched it. So I think I did search like nurse life or life of a nurse or nurse mom or something, and went through like found some posts who were obviously like influencers. And then I went and looked at the people who liked that post because I figured they're probably nurses too. And I actually did get like, I mean, it was a little time consuming, but I was at work, so it was fine. But I did get some new followers who were all nurses. So it definitely does work. It was just more of like a time consuming thing, which,
yeah,
I mean, it's a business. We should put some time into it.
So it's a Gary Vaynerchuk strategy, and I think it's called the 180 strategy or something like that. And it is, so having like some hashtags that are relevant to your niche audience. So I'm going to just use the example that I did today because I was doing my other business today. So contagious community. So I'm obviously looking for other MLMs. So what I did was I went and searched like oily mom. So I went to your search bar in Instagram. I hit the hashtag button. Sorry. I hit the hashtag. So I go to the search bar, hit the hashtag button, or start typing, hit the hashtag. I did oily mom. And then all the people that are using oily mom came up. So I can literally scroll through, like, follow, and leave a comment right then. And then the next one, it's the next lady. She's using oily mom too. So that's like, for me, that's like doTERRA, Young Living, like there's all the oils, right? So it was a very fast way to actually find them, like their post, follow them, and make a comment. So Gary V, I guess he wants you to do that for 180 minutes a day. But he never says like do it all at once. Like he's the guy that says like do it on the toilet for 10 minutes. And if you've got your hashtags that are working for you, that are, you know, relevant to your niche, that you've kind of thought about them, those are always going to be great hashtags to go look at. Does that make sense?
Can you just say that again? Just so you search in Instagram the hashtag.
Yeah. So as soon as, I'm in my, why doesn't this ever work for me? I'm in my search bar, okay? And I've typed in oily mom. And on the top, there's like 3 lines, a person, and then the hashtag symbol. I click that, the hashtag symbol. So now all the oily mom hashtags, it's the first one that comes up. So I click it, and then all of a sudden, all these posts pop up that have the oily mom hashtag used in them. So I'm going to assume that only people that are selling oils are hashtagging oily mom. And for me, I know that they don't know what they're doing because they're hashtagging oily mom. So they're even like, that would be like the girl that I'm in a mastermind with. She like literally targets Beachbody coaches. So she looks for people that are doing what we don't do. Shakeology, Beachbody coach, Team Beachbody, like the people that are still hashtagging all of those company things that we don't want to do. If you're using those hashtags, people know you are trying to sell them something, and they are like flocking the other way. We don't want to use those. You want to get people that are interested in you, not Beachbody. Like they're interested in what you bring to the table, not what Beachbody brings to the table. You'll get there once they connect with you. So for me, all the people that are posting about oily mom, now I click on recent. So it says top or recent. I click on recent, and the most recent post, I just click on the top one. And so there's a girl, I'll like it, I'll follow it, and I'll read it a little bit, and I'll make a comment like, oh, that's so cute, that's awesome, what's that oil blend, or whatever. And then I can do that. Like, it's time consuming, but it's all in one area. And that's what I kind of like. And I know that it's what I want. So brainstorming, maybe I would look for like clean recipes. I mean, I could use PCOS for myself, right? PCOS diet, PCOS lifestyle, PCOS. So it's like getting creative, and I am terrible at it. Like I really am. Like I'm going to have to sit and really think about it. Like adoptive mom, I got to go deeper than that, right? Like maybe Canadian adoptive mom, Ontario adoptive mom. Like it takes a little research. It takes looking at the numbers and going to that hashtag. So searching Canadian adoptive mom, is that really the people I want to target? That's always my thing with PCOS. Like sometimes targeting those people is just getting me into people I don't necessarily want to talk to. A lot of times they are just really negative and not that much fun to talk to, but you just have to get creative. That's kind of the bottom line. Did that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I found it faster. Like I love that video that we just watched, but I'm actually finding this way a little bit faster, as long as you're doing the right target. That's the key.
I'm doing it like as you're talking, and I just put in like single mom probs.
Yeah. See, you are good at these, Justine. That's what I mean. I look at your hashtags and you've got like single mom probs. I would never think that.
Well, I also had an app called Hashtags. So I like put in a more generic one, and then it came up with ideas for me with smaller ones. Like that's how I did find
right
some of my smaller ones to do, but like I wasn't switching them. I was putting the exact same 20 or however many I had in all my same posts. So
yeah, I think
is there a tool or something that can help us out here? A website?
You told me about that app too, I think.
It's honestly, it's called Hashtags.
Yeah, I have it too. I use it too.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtags.
Just an
it's
app.
It's a pink app.
Yeah.
Hashtags.
And it was free. And then you just like punch in, like if I punched in emotional eating, then a whole bunch of shit would come up that I could use, right?
Yeah.
So there's something we can use.
You can like pay for it, but I just kept going past to just do the free trial.
Yeah. Yeah, it like really this is what it is. Like I also watched Melanie Mitro's partner. She just did a whole IGTV on hashtags, and she's like, those fitness hashtags are just not working for us anymore. We just have to stop using them. They're not working. That's why, lots of new coaches will message me and like, all I'm getting is Beachbody coaches following me. I'm like, okay, well, what hashtags are you using? Well, Fit Mom, Fitspo. And that's where everyone is. So we just have to get creative about that. What else did she say? Her name's Katie, I think. She said using different store names that you would shop at, stuff like that, coffees, shops, that kind of stuff. Just think outside of the box. Yeah. I think that's really it. Oh, and the other thing is, if you are using Instagram as pretty much your platform, and stories especially. So if you're really into stories and that's where you want people to go, you need to tell people to go there. So if you saw tonight, I posted a picture of my soup on my Facebook page, and I told people to go to my stories for the recipe, because that's where I want them. I am not ever going to post a before and after picture of myself on my feed again. Like I am 45 years old and I am just like, I don't know. It just doesn't like I don't have any problem with anyone else doing it, but for me, it just like it doesn't resonate anymore. But I'll talk about my weight loss. I'll talk about anything in stories. I probably will post before and after in stories, but I never will on my feed again. I don't even know. It doesn't even make sense. It's just like this personal thing. So I wanted people to go to my stories tonight because Terry and I told everybody how much weight we've lost in phase 1. I am not going to talk about that on my feed. I'm not going to do a post about Terry and I losing 9 pounds. Like, I'm not. I would rather talk about other things and give value on my feed and share my life on my feed, but in my stories, and we can be a little bit more, you know, air quotes, salesy there, and kind of like a little bit more pushy there. Well, I want more people there, you know, so you got to push them. And that was one thing that Kayla said. Like, she said, you have to tell people, you have to like treat them like children. You have to like tell them exactly where to go. So I'm going to try that and really work with that this for the next little bit, is like posting things that I know people want. I know people want recipes from me. They have forever, and I'm just not going to give it to them on my Facebook like feed or my Instagram feed. And I'm sure as heck not spending 2 hours anymore copying and pasting recipes into message box like I used to do last year. Like, and this works really well for new coaches, like newer coaches. If you make something that's really good and you want to share it with your audience, take a picture, write a post about it. Just say, this was amazing. My kids loved it. It was a family fave, whatever. Drop a heart if you'd like the recipe. Don't put the recipe in the post. Drop a heart if you want the recipe, and then you can message these people. It's a way to actually connect with them. You give them the recipe and you ask them, hey, are you always looking for clean recipes too? Or is this something that you've been looking for? Are you always searching? Like, you can start a conversation. I got more customers doing that in my years of doing this. That was probably my most successful thing I always did. If I was ever trying to reach a goal, I just did that. One year I did a ton of I would go to the Beachbody blog and I would find 5 recipes that sort of resonated with me. I would copy and paste them into a Google Doc, like literally copy, paste. I didn't have pictures or anything. And then I would go to my feed on Facebook and Instagram and I'd say, who wants my 5 favorite recipes for fall? And I remember it was right after my dad died, I did this, and I had like 300 people I had to message this PDF to. But it got all these conversations started. I do not have that kind of time anymore, but if you're just starting out, you're not going to get that many people. So do it. Like, you might get 10 new conversations. It's such a great way. You're giving value. You're actually giving them a gift for free, but in turn, they're going to be talking to you in the message box. And that's where we want them, because in the DMs on Instagram or your message box in Facebook, if you are having a conversation with a person, the algorithm picks that up. So if you've messaged and they've messaged you back, the algorithm says, hey, they're friends. I am going to make sure I put Linda's stuff in Marianne's feed, because clearly they're friends. They're talking in the messenger. They're talking in the message box. So now Linda is going to be shown to Marianne more often. So if it's a freebie, you know she's interested in healthy eating. So if she starts seeing your posts about a healthy lifestyle, the chances are something might come to fruition eventually. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. I think that was it, really. I do want to tell you that I found a really cool app today, and I may be like living under some sort of cloud because I hadn't used WordSwag for a really long time. But they have a new app called StorySwag, and it's amazing. It's like all, if you saw my zucchini soup, it was kind of like a video kind of thingy. That was this new app called StorySwag. StorySwag. So it's cool. It's got like very cool. Oh, and my IGTVs. So if you go to Instagram and you see my IGTVs, the first snippet is kind of like a cool something with color. And that is a StorySwag put on top of the IGTV. So that was fun. You know me and apps. I just love my apps. Yeah. Okay. Does anybody have questions or comments, advice? Tracy, I will post that video again It's long. It's probably maybe why you didn't catch it, because it's like an hour long, but I will definitely post. Where should we put that? She still says in the first comment. Yeah, in the first comment.
So Michelle, just like, because I mean, hashtags are not something I ever do. You said to have like 5 to 6 creative hashtags relating to that particular post.
Yep.
And then the other ones can be sort of ones that you always use, or have like 3 sets that you would change up every 3 times. Is that
if I was you, I would have a set for like healthy eating. I'd have a set for fitness. I'd have a set for like mom life. And then I might have nurse, like work type stuff. That's what I would do. And then you can relate those to whatever post. And all you have to be creative about is like the first 4 or 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Meg, you're pretty up on Instagram. Do you have any like tips? Not really? You're the story queen.
I mean, other than interacting with people a lot, I missed the first part of this call because I was just leaving class. But I find being active for like 15 to 20 minutes before I post something, that helps a lot. And locations is like my biggest driver of traffic, especially because they just recently started having like Canada viewers. Have you guys noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
So that's really cool. And then like you said too, like the proof of having like a lot of stickers, as many stickers as you can. And I've been really encouraging people in my challenge group to tag me in their stories. So like have more things to repost, but that's all I got right now, really.
Yeah, it's all about like, think of you're getting together with friends. Like you have to almost think of it like you're at a coffee shop with a whole bunch of your friends. Like, what would you do? You wouldn't just ask them a question and then run, right? You would stick around for the answer. You would stick around for a conversation, like we have to start like taking it so literally. It's social media. Kayla has the funniest, I hope I can remember this correctly. And this is not about hashtags. This is about like the hey girl messages. So she explains it like this. If you were at a coffee shop and someone walked in and said, hi, and just, that was it. Like, that was it. You would not go over to that person and say, why are you staring at me? What are you doing? Like, do you want to buy what I have to buy? Like, you would never, ever do that. So why on social media do we think just because someone follows us, we should go and like bombard them with like, hey, do you have any health and fitness goals too? Like, the way she explains it just makes me howl, because I know I did it. Like, we all have done it and so many people are still doing it. But when you think of it in terms of social media is just like real life. It's our real life now. It's where we're meeting people like we used to meet them at a restaurant or meet them at a coffee shop. So we have to treat it with the same kind of respect. Like, what would you do in real life? Just do the same here. I think we just like get in our heads and we overthink it so much. We just have to like dumb it down. Like, treat it exactly the same as you would at work, at school, at a coffee shop, at a restaurant, at the grocery store, like exactly the same. So anyways, that is really it. I hope that was helpful. I know some of those tips have really helped me at least like get a little bit more clear on them, how to use them. I love the search. That's really been like, as much as it feels like it takes a little bit more time, I feel like it actually gets a lot more done by using just searching the hashtag and then going through those people. So, okay guys, any other questions about anything? Anything else? Did I miss anything in the chat? I don't think so. Oh, you explain the search thing again? Okay. So you want to, at first, Tracy, find like a hashtag so let's say NICU mom. Okay. That's for you. So you're going to go to Instagram. You're going to go to the little search icon. Do you have it open? Okay. So it's at the bottom of your screen, your little search guy, and you're going to come up and the search bar is there. So plug in NICU mom, and then you can see the hashtag symbol right underneath there. Click that. So that first item should come up, NICU mom, like hashtag NICU mom. Click that. I can't see your face anymore, so I hope that this is making sense. And all these pictures are going to come up. I want you to click recent, and then just start going through them. Click that first picture, and now they look like this, like big pictures. Like it's all, can you see that, Tracy? Is this working? So what you're going to do on whatever resonates with you, it doesn't mean you have to follow every single person, but you can follow, you can like, and you can comment. And then you can just keep doing that. Follow, like, comment. And, take some time with it. Like, you don't want to just drop an emoji and leave. Again, like, you want to read the comment. And actually, I loved when that lady on that long video said, compliment people. That goes way back to my hairdressing days. Like, when we had a new customer come in, we were told, compliment them, find something to compliment them with. Their bag, their shoes, their makeup, like something, and they will love you forever. And I did that with every client every single day. The minute they walked in, I found something to compliment them on, and they did. They soften right then, right? It's like they're putty in your hands as soon as you compliment them, because everybody, who doesn't love a compliment? Well, why not do that on social media? Okay, Tracy, you know what? I'll do this in the new coach thread, okay? I'll go through this again in the new coach thread, and this is recorded so you can listen to it. But it's literally just finding a hashtag, going to that search bar, and going through the people that are using that hashtag. So if you use NICU mom, you're going to find a whole bunch of other people that are using that hashtag as well. And then you can start relationships with them. You can like their picture, you can follow them, and you can make a comment on that picture. You'll see it come up as soon as you follow those steps. Okay?
This is also a really good way to find other hashtags. Like,
yeah.
I just put in nurse life problems or something, and then the post I clicked in, she had some other little nursing hashtags that I never even would have thought about. I think in my head, I'm like, the only people who are using hashtags are business. Like do regular people use hashtags? I think that's what I can't get past. I'm like, if they're using a hashtag, they're probably looking for people too.
I think you and I are the only one that thinks that, because when I said that in Kentucky, they were like, what is wrong with you? Hashtags is the best way to build your business. And I'm like, oh my God, well, I don't know how I've got to where I am.
And that's what I just feel like. And so everyone who's using hashtags is thinking the same thing. It's the best way to build their business. Like, I just can't get my head wrapped around why a normal human just wanting to post something on Instagram is going to bother with hashtags.
Oh, I don't think they're posting, but I think that they're possibly searching it. So they're going to find you. Like, I think people are using them, but they're also searching them. So you want to use them. Like, that's why this is twofold, right?
Okay.
So, and that's why you have to get into your customer's head. So what would my customer search?
Right.
What would my customer post? And let me tell you, people are using hashtags. Like, normal people are using hashtags before they're in business. They're not using 28, and they're not putting them in the comments. They're using like 5, like baby girl's birthday, like, or unicorn mom, or I don't know what they're using, but they're not like, So that is, I think, the whole thing. The people that are really good at this get inside their customer's head, out of our heads and right inside our customer's head. And it all goes back to what I talked about in the mini challenge. If you don't friggin' know who you're talking to, none of this is going to make sense. So if you haven't figured out exactly who you're talking to, it is going to be very hard to do all the other steps. So it wasn't until like I decided, okay, I really just want to talk to people that like are me. Like they binge, they don't like to cook, they emotionally eat, they're constantly in their pantry. It wasn't until I just started talking about that constantly over and over like a broken record. And now it's like I'm getting those people. I am getting the messages every day saying, oh my gosh, it's like you're living at my house, and oh my gosh, you are like talking exactly to me. And it's just like, instead of, you know, trying to talk to, like, even though I kept telling everyone we have to know who we talk to, I was still myself, like kind of trying to talk to like lots of different people. And when I finally realized she doesn't have to be a certain age, she doesn't have to be a mom or not, she just has to be like me, that she just really can't control her mouth and food. And once I started just being really real about it, it's like really changed. And it's like helped me focus in and narrow in a little bit more. So I think that's like always going to be the key. It's always going to be just like trying to be honest with yourself and saying, really, like, what problem do I want to solve? Like what problem do I actually want to help women with, or men, or people? Because that's part of it. You have to enjoy it. Like, I actually enjoy talking to women about emotional eating. Like I do. Like, I love when a woman tells me that she just like binged and totally wrecked it. And like those messages I love. There's some types of messages I don't really want to get involved in. So you kind of have to figure out, who do I want to help? Like, what do I want to help them with? And then everything can be narrowed down from there. I hope that kind of makes sense. Let me tell you, I have had to hear this stuff like over and over and so many times, like drilled into me, and it's taken me a long time to get it. But what can I say? Okay. Is that good? Sort of, kind of not confusing, sort of helpful. Okay, cool. Awesome, guys. Alrighty. Oh, I think the big thing about Instagram is hashtags. They weren't really used until Instagram came out, so it's totally normal. Totally. I think you are so right, Linda. Like, I'm 45, so my big social media upbringing is Facebook. So hashtags is just so like really truthfully foreign to me. My daughter, she'll know all about it. Like, it'll just be a part of their life. Like, it's not something they'll have to learn, right? It'll just be like automatic. So I think that's maybe why I find it so foreign, and other people are like, well, yeah, it's just like, that's just what you do. Like, if you're wondering about something, you just search a hashtag. I'm like, oh, really? Wow. Would never thought of that. I go to Google. I go to Pinterest still. High five on that. High five for being obedient. Okay. All right, guys, thank you. And I hope that was helpful. And you know what? We can like brainstorm this in our message threads too, like trying to think of different hashtags for, you know, like if you've figured out who your kind of niche or who you want to help, like throw it in a message thread and we can brainstorm together. Because that often, like when you're thinking about someone else, you can think of lots of things, but when you're trying to think of yourself, it's impossible. Or get the hashtag app. That sounds like it's helpful too. Okay, good night, guys. Thank you.